love having a full room. Thanks everybody for being here. I think last week I said I can't believe it's January 31st. Now it's February 7th. I don't really know where it's going or what's happening. It's just going by very fast. Really quick, for those of you that missed the awards last week, you're stuck with me. It's official. I'm staying because anybody has not seen it. I'm so excited for this market center and for all the things I know that we're going to do this year and years to come. So just a super grateful heart, and can't wait to get to work with you all in this next chapter of my life. So I'm very thankful. So thank you. Bucket fills. So I know everybody has a few in here. I'll call them out if you don't. We just had our vendor roundtable this morning, so I'd love to hear from an agent who has had an experience with one of our vendors and would like to share that great experience. Really?
Okay.
Thank you.
Is Sammy here?
Oh, I'm right.
Sammy's here, yes.
Anytime I've ever needed anything from his company, they're prompt, they're fast, and Sammy himself will come out if you need help. So I can't say enough nice things about how awesome he is to work with.
Awesome. Teresa.
I second that. One time Sammy went out there, we were like almost at a closing, and I wonder if there was spray foam in the crawl space or something like that. And it was a new construction. And so he went out at the last minute, and he was able to do a termite letter for us and a bomb.
Awesome. Love to hear that. Constance.
So I want to give a shout out to Ryan.
Sorry, Alexis, be quiet over
He was able to get out for us literally next day to do an inspection on the fly. And he was fantastic, took his time with our client, showed him everything that he found. And then while we were out there, he had mentioned something about the roof. So I'm going to give Critter Roofing shout out too.
Perfect.
I was within texting them, literally they were there within 10 minutes. So, and it's not nearby.
Awesome.
So it was literally like Carrollton? Yeah. So I was very shocked to roll into the driveway. Yeah.
It matters who you're in business with. Go for it, Michelle.
Jeff Martin, Heaven's Best Carpet, flooring, and upholstery, does an amazing job.
Awesome. Good to hear.
Yes. And Sure Things has always done a great job for us too.
Perfect.
Same.
Love to hear that.
Second that.
Yeah, love to hear that.
All of them. I've used a lot of them, and they're all great.
They're
Kelly's
keepers.
great with 210. Phyllis Traffics for me. Sandy Baker. Ron Donahue with Sure Thing. Like Frank Cooper. Like they're all good. So use them all.
Yeah. Good part of the family.
Yeah, well, I was actually able to save a deal last week with Gilstrap. So Gilstrap came through 911, found out the day before we had an issue, and they bailed me out the morning of the closing. So it was a win-win for sure.
Thank you, Gilstrap. You got the close. Woohoo!
Yes.
I saw on Facebook a couple of contracts under contracts this week. Anybody in here want to share those? Anybody? Okay, I'm going to repost them then. Anyway, for me, just thanks again. Super grateful to be here. So we'll keep moving. Strategic partners. I know Joy's here. Come on up. Good morning, guys.
Congratulations to you all.
Thank you. And the vendor meeting this morning was great. I'm glad you guys did the shout outs. It's amazing with the people. So these people in this room, they're wonderful. And I've used many with you guys before. So mortgages. So I'm going to be brief today. I know you have a panel. Rates. I know we talk about it every week, and I probably will. This is kind of the year rates, right? It's a big, huge deal. Went down last week, but guess what happened yesterday? Not there yet, David. Not yet. Believe me, I will be announcing that for sure when that happens. Because I can refi a lot of people. But they kind of went up yesterday. Not bad. We're still like 6. Okay. So as you talk with buyers, just tell them they're stable and they're like 6, low 6s. Okay. Just have that conversation. I don't think you have to be specific on rates right now, okay? Because they're going to be a little volatile. So just know that. And then another thing I'm seeing a lot of, all of a sudden, there's always something that's kind of, I'm getting a lot of questions about. I'm getting a lot more mailaways again, and power of attorneys questions, which is great. That's fine, but just let us know, let your lender know ahead of time if you have a power of attorney or no way, because there are other things we have to do on our end. It has to be a specific power of attorney with the Kelly attorney. So just, I'm hearing a lot of that again, and it's always last minute, and I'm like, oh, it's no way. Ooh. So we just have to prepare for those things. So know that, and then this at 12:30, after you guys grab lunch, we can come back in here. We're continuing our Mortgage 101 series, and today I'm talking about government loans. We had some questions last month about that, so I'm going to highlight FHA, VA, and USDA. Because veterans, we're doing a lot of VA loans, and probably have like 3 in my pipeline right now. USDA is getting a lot of questions because people are moving out, right? It's a little more affordable. So I think it's a good time to talk about those things. So, anyway, you guys have any specific questions for me? Thank you.
Thank you. Stanley, come on up.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Kelly with 210 Home Buyers Warranty. So my question today for a bottle of wine, who can tell me how complimentary listing coverage works?
So we try to put a home warranty on all of our listings, and we even are able to do that pre-certification on the HVAC systems too, even when it's a listing, because that really helps a buyer know that the HVAC has passed when they need repairs. And then the seller pays for it, agrees to pay for it whenever it closes.
Awesome. What's the average day that a home is on the market for right now? 30 days. So that's 30 days not being protected. And so what 210 Home Buyers Warranty, what we offer to your sellers is complimentary listing coverage. It is free. We don't know how long the home's on the market for, a couple of hours, days, weeks, months, even up to a year. And so what we're proposing to your sellers is we will give them a free home warranty during that listing period. All we do ask for is just a commitment that they're going to present it to all parties at closing. So nothing is due up front, nothing is due until closing, and only if the home closes with a home warranty. So if we do go out there, if we pay claims, if we even had to replace, if they take that home off the market, or if the closing falls through, even though we paid out money, nothing is due. They would not have to owe us anything. They can only get the standard coverage. For listing coverage, it's only for 180 days. It can be renewed for another 180 days. And the only thing that's optional during the listing period is adding the air conditioner and heat pump coverage. That's only additional $50, and that's only if they want that coverage during the listing period. If they don't want that coverage, if it does convert over the buyer coverage, the buyer will get a full 1-year warranty starting day of close for a full year, and the AC and heat pump is already included. But the heating system, it's included with the listing coverage where you do not have to add the $50. So it's a great marketing tool to use. You're offering the sellers peace of mind. The last thing that the sellers want to do is pay more money into that home because they want to sell it. But you're also offering the buyers peace of mind coming into a pre-loved home, knowing you've already established coverage, and then there's possibly a home warranty that they're going to get for 1 year. So if you guys haven't used 210 Home Buyers Warranty, if you've ever worked with me, I would love the opportunity to earn your business this year. So thank you.
Okay, Jared's here. Make sure you get late. Come on up, Jared.
All right, good morning, everybody.
Good morning. Good morning.
So first of all, I know it's been said a lot, but what a great award ceremony. Last week, that was awesome. I was bummed I had to leave early. I had to get to a closing, but you guys keep Tiff and I busy in the best way possible. With that being said, I'm going to kind of piggyback off of what Joy said. I've been seeing a lot of POA closings. Yesterday, I actually had the rare double POA in both a buyer and a seller. I think right now I've had 4 POA
Was it the
closings.
same person? Because that'd be crazy.
No, it was the same person for 2 people though. So 3 POA signings, so the closing took a hot minute. But I've had 4 POA closings this month alone, which is a lot. And again, what Joy was saying, if you have a POA, please let us know as soon as possible, especially if your buyer or seller has one of their own already in place, just so I can send it by our underwriter just to make sure it's okay, because if not, they'll require a specific POA to the actual transaction. So the sooner the better. Other than that, next week, Tiff will be here teaching a class on how to navigate GSCCCA. So if you've been lost navigating that, definitely a class worthwhile.
Quick thing on the POA, making sure the buyer, if it is a buyer signing, making sure they're gonna be available for that phone call. Because that really, my buyer was in the middle of the desert on closing day. And they had to get into cell phone range and go back out for the phone call. So that's
Yes, thank you for that. That's actually very important. For every POA, we will do an alive and well call. If you've never had a POA, it's basically just me hopping on the phone, like, hey, 1, are you alive? 2, are you okay with this transaction? Simple as that. But yes, try to make your buyer or seller available for that 2-minute conversation.
Awesome, thank you. Okay, all right. Our vendors who we love, who, just so all the agents know, we did a vendor roundtable this morning for an hour, and they all came in so we could all talk and strategize on how we can better serve the vendors and being a part of this office and what they can do for us and what we can do for them. So we can all collaborate and just make this a better experience for everybody as we move to this market center and me being here. So just saying. Anyway, you guys stand up, say hello. Good job.
I forgot to mention Jacqueline. Jacqueline at my house and for all of my clients. She's done refinishing hardwoods, she has done carpet, she did countertops, backsplash, and blinds. Yeah, she does everything and she's amazing. So if y'all are using Jacqueline,
You're missing out.
you're missing out.
All right, Gary, you want to start?
Gary, Junk Express, junk removal, that's pretty straightforward what we do. Some of the things that people don't think about what we do is like interior demolitions of kitchens, bathrooms, exterior stuff, hot tubs, decks, play sets. If you're at closing, if your closing is like 2 o'clock, which is kind of maybe last year type of thing, when everything's moving wild, and a last minute thing pops up, you got something to shed, something in the crawl space, something like that, give me a call.
Bodies?
Yes. Yeah. Just make sure it's not a body when I get there, or when the guys get there. Just wrap it up, and we don't know what it is.
Yeah, and I'll give Gary a shout out. I met Gary personally before we became friends through market centers and other things a couple of years ago. And so, and his team is amazing. They're the only people that I use or refer out for any kind of junk removal, anything that's needed. I personally vouch for them, so they've done a great job for me. Your turn.
Brian Clark, local photography. Enjoyed seeing a lot of y'all last week. It works for me.
Thanks for the great pictures.
Donna Hesketh, Atlanta Partners Property Management, and I talk to a number of you all on a regular basis, so please keep calling me. I'm happy to help you answer any questions for your clients looking at rental property investment.
If you know, if the temperature is below 60 degrees, the AC can't be properly tested, and if it's under a home warranty, it's not covered. Throughout the Sheffield Home Inspections, we try to help make sure you get full coverage. If not, we bring Kelly in to make sure that that system will be covered at closing.
Awesome. Thank you.
Jeff Martin, and I'm just carpet cleaning, we do moisture carpet. We need $1,000 an hour, hardwood floor, tile ground, full street.
Good job.
Very easily. Yes, the cost is amazing.
Brian Roberts, Georgia Pro Inspection Company. We do all the usual home inspection stuff that you guys expect, including infrared thermal imaging, which I'd like you guys to go to my website if you don't know what it is and the value to it. But most importantly, I want to be a resource for you guys. So call me if you have any questions. You're at home. Anyone has any questions, buyer, give me a call. I'm usually, I'll make myself available for all of you.
Awesome, thank you.
I just did 2 for me in the rain. Right? Wasn't it in the rain?
In the rain.
In the rain.
In the rain. Awesome.
On a how many hours notice they did on an 8-hour notice where he did.
Great job.
Yeah.
Jacqueline.
I'm Jacqueline with Peachtree Interiors. We also work in all weather conditions.
Jacqueline's done our sunroom.
It was sunny that day.
It was sunny that day.
Anyway, today I'm working on some custom rugs for an agent here, and we also do stair runners. If you have like dogs or whatever is too slippery, if it's bare wood, we can make a nice runner for that. So Please call us for anything.
Awesome, thank you.
James Lavro with Ensign Building Solutions. We do mold, water, fire restoration. We also do radon systems and mitigation. Radon is becoming something that's increasingly more popular, especially with listings and closings and all that. So if you need a home tested for radon, you can reach out to me, reach out to Georgia Pro or Rob over there, get it inspected, and if you need a radon mitigation system installed, it's a call.
Thank you.
I'm Brian Gilbert with Gwinnett Property Maintenance. We are handyman services and home improvement.
Awesome, thank you. And just to point out, guys, this is all leverage, right? I think about Kelly talking about, the no cost that she can provide, homes under contract. That is a massive selling point. So when you are out there doing your listing presentations and things you can offer.
Is anyone here from Perimeter Roofing? Or did they do it? So I went to the building the beds this past weekend. That was my first time doing that. And y'all, that was amazing. Just to see how it, first of all, I'll do anything with power tools. So I had a blast. But there were kids there, there were lots of churches there, there were agents there. I mean, it was quite a community that came together, and they had quality control of like every situation, and it was just truly amazing. And you think of the things that we do and we arrange with the different charities or giving charity, but they have stuff all the time happening. And so I know some of y'all have reached out about not just doing the things that are scheduled here or going, as we go as a group, but what can people do just on a regular basis or once a month? And wow, it's just amazing how many need that continual touch and outreach and stuff like that. So whether it's during the week or on the weekends when there's kids there, it was truly amazing.
Did Perimeter have that up?
I believe so.
Okay.
Yeah, it was with at their site. Where's Laura?
Yes, yeah, it was at their location.
Yeah. I'm saying it wasn't through the markets, it was like something,
Yeah.
Okay,
So they set that up, and Laura was there taking pictures, and
Laura Dar,
Laura Dar.
Yeah.
So it was awesome.
Awesome. Love to get back. Classes and training for the month. We got Joy today at 12:30. Kelly on the 10th for the new agent setup. We've got Tiffany who's coming on the 14th, Valentine's Day, which we've got special treats for all you lovebirds in here that are coming on Valentine's Day. I've got Rachel Mooney coming Valentine's Day afternoon from 1 to 2. Anybody here know Rachel Mooney? She runs a big team over at the Riverside office. She is an amazing human being and an amazing teacher, and she is coming over here to share some of her wealth of knowledge with us on Valentine's Day afternoon from 1 to 2, so don't miss that. And then Kelly's got dinner goals and numbers again on the 16th. Kelly's busy. Kelly, she hasn't announced you. Kelly's busy. We have Georgia MLS people, just saying. They're coming to do Paragon on the 23rd from 1 to 4. This is huge. For those that don't know, it was an actual congress to get somebody on the phone to get them out here. So this is one not to miss. Kelly's again. New agent again. And then Joy's going to do her mastermind series on the 28th at 12:30 after team meeting. Family reunion, as you guys know, is coming up. We've got about 16 now, I think, that are registered to go. You will be receiving, if you're in this room at the end of the week, creating calendar invites for all the events that are going on at Family Reunion, a group chat, and also our Know Before You Go. It's on Thursday from 4:30 to 5:30 here at the office. If you're going, you're getting goodie bags. You might have some hors d'oeuvres and some cocktails. And just kind of connect and get all of our plans situated for the trip. So I'm super excited about that. Career Day at Night, February 14th is day at noon, and that's with me. And then Career Night on the 16th, that is Zoom only, and that is with David. Jambo's box. I guess you guys can see the box in the front or see our post about it. We have this box for the month of February. It is for pajamas for the kids and adult children. So the biggest need they have is for larger size pajamas. Obviously, I think the consensus is that all the little infant size are really cute and fun with the cute hoodies. The adult versions don't feel as cute, but they are in desperate need of larger size pajamas. So anything that you can do, please make sure we get a picture of you at the box. We can post it and share it. I think the more we can share, the more love we can give to them. So
That's a fantastic touch for your clients and your database guys.
Yep.
I reached out to mine. I got a $100 donation, and I just ordered a bunch of pajamas online, and they're starting to arrive right now. So either ask your clients if they can help participate with this. They love it, absolutely love it, and then they can have it either just shipped here. Like I had Walmart, and I'm starting to get some shipped here, or have them donate to you, and you go shop for them and send them pictures and all that kind of stuff. But this is a great touch and a wonderful, wonderful organization.
yeah, and I think also for those of you that are having shipped here, the person that gave you the money to buy them, post it and tag them so they can see what you're doing with their money. I think that's really important. Okay, so big announcement. Apparently, I scared a lot of people this morning, David Williams. So at 7 this morning, I requested to have a very impromptu ALC meeting. I did not realize that by doing that, set off fire alarms. Now I've learned not to do that. So there's been some changes that have come down the pipe with KWRI, and it involves fees. I know the dreaded word, right? Everybody's like, so tech fees are going up effective March 1st. The tech fees have gone up $25. This market center is going to offset that, and the only cost to you will be $10 effective March 1st. The market center is absorbing the difference. So not every market center is doing that, or the amounts might vary, but I just want you all to know that we had a big meeting on Friday with all the OPs and team leaders. And I just want to kind of go through and make sure you guys are aware of what that tech fee includes. It is all these features here. I will tell you that Realtor.com and the Dave Ramsey program are both no longer with us. So because they were not utilized or very underutilized for what we were paying. So those two items are off the list. Nobody's asking. I think the value proposition in this is for $10 more. For me, and being in other market centers and other brokerages, people don't have this. Like what we offer our agents is amazing, and I feel like it is such a huge value. There's a lot of stuff that's going to be rolling out around Family Reunion for Command and the mobile app. A lot of big updates and upgrades that are coming. So I feel like this is a good thing, and it's probably well overdue along all the other things in the world that have gone out. They try to postpone this as long as possible, and there were conversations about adding to Command, kind of doing an add-on, which is a different system, which would mean something new, which everyone's like, that's not going to happen ever. So they have decided to invest in the Command CRM system because it's proprietary for us. And I just want to, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, there is a team fee also. It's the same with the teams. It's currently $45. It is going to go to $55. The caveat with that is anybody that's currently on a team, you are going to be grandfathered in for the $10 increase. Anybody new after March 1st, it is going to go to $75. So just so you guys know, it'll stay at the grandfather $55 for the $10 increase, as long as you're in by March 1st. So just want to share that. It's not a big deal. Feel good about it. Got a lot out of it. We're going to move on. Need to have questions? Come to me afterwards.
I have one thing to say.
Oh.
A lot of you guys are on auto pay
yes,
checks that like come straight from your bank. Make sure that you go in and adjust those for March, please. Otherwise, we'll be calling every day.
I'll get the girls send out a reminder too that if you do the auto draft, just to make sure you adjust your amount. I'm trying to put anything else on
I think that people are going to be very impressed with the additional functionality coming out of Family Reunion.
Yes.
And that's why this is happening at this time. And Keller Williams also lost $89 million last year on the technology piece based on what we were paying versus what they had spent. So that's why the fees are going up.
Yeah. All right, shift into OverTHRIVE panel. Please welcome Chelsea Stanley and Barbara Genn. So really quick, Bob Hartwell, who was also at this event, I think is on a plane and was not able to be here. So I did share his notes with them that they're going to go over. But I know a lot of people couldn't go to that because we couldn't get tickets, and it was kind of a hot mess as far as the wedding. Anyway, hot mess. We'll leave it at that. So, but I asked them to please share because I had gone through the 158-page book.
A lot.
The QR codes on your desk. That is a link to the entire book and the slides that she's going to share that you guys can look at your leisure. It is a wealth of information. They're going to share some of the comments that Mark made. Not all of it. But I love how transparent Mark is, and there is like no filter with him, which I love, and he just says it like it is.
Yeah.
So I feel like just them articulating that from him, I think is really important, and so I just wanted to share that.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you for having us.
You want the clicker?
Sure.
You can drop the bus.
Oh, okay. All right, well, we'll jump right in. I'm Chelsea. This is my beautiful mama, Barbara, if you didn't know. So we'll just jump right in. So Mark talked a lot about a bunch of different slides, a bunch of different charts, and again, they're all in that QR code thing. But these are the couple that stuck out to us. So the home prices annually, they've been trending 4%, right? But over the last couple of years, they jumped up to 12.5%. That's not sustainable. So some people are still pricing homes as if it's increasing 12.5%, which we all know that's not really happening. So that's what that dip that we're seeing is. That's how he explained it. And then the next one we'll talk about is the inventory. So the yellow line represents 6 months of balanced inventory. The blue shows where we actually are. The way he explained it was really cool. Until the blue is above the yellow, we're good. So there's still people that need to move. There's not enough houses to move into. So now it's a skills market. We got to be sharp. We got to hone our skills and really do what we need to do there. And then mortgage rates, which Ms. Joy just talked about. It's really important that we're educating our people on where interest rates are. They're not in the 2s or the 3s like we want them to be. That's just not sustainable. So it's our job to educate them and show them the historical average from 1972 to 2021. It was 7.8. Like, that's not bad. It's just not as good as 2. So we just have to educate them and show them that, no, this is normal and it's okay. Because people, they buy the payment, not the interest rate, right? And then these are the 3 objections that they talked about. And I want to kind of get some interaction from you guys. How many of you are getting from a seller, why would I trade a low interest rate for a high interest rate? Nobody's getting that? You are? Yeah? Anybody else? No one? What would you say?
Urgency to move.
Yeah. Anybody else have any objection handlers that you would say to that before I give you what Mark said? No? Okay, thanks so much for playing. I'm not nervous at all. So what Mark King said, he would say, he did say, well, I'm sorry, you invited me into your house to sell your house, not to talk about interest rates. So you just told me that you think you're engaged. So we're trying to find a new home for your new bride. So are we talking about interest rates or are we talking about a new house? So he kind of would call them out in a nice, polite way. Mm-hmm. The second one, should I wait to buy because what I could buy today would be worth less tomorrow? Is anybody getting that? Yeah. Yeah? What do you say to that? It's not a trick question. It could be worth more. It could be worth more. Yes.
Well, I think it depends on the client that I'm working with. If it's a renter, then we're talking about basically the cost for renting over the next year, and any decline in pricing, and based on expert projection, we're looking at as high as a 5% increase and as low as a 5% decrease, and most are predicting around where we are right now with price stability. Are we looking at more or less loss, and we're getting into the house that you want to be in? If I'm working with the seller, well, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, seller/buy, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, you already own a home, so whether you own this asset or that asset, if we have a decline, you're going to have a declining asset. Right. Do you want to decline in the house that you're in, or do you want to basically go through the decline in the house that you're going to be in. We can't control the market. We can only control where you experience it.
Love it. Thank you. Good
And
job.
if you thought that way 3 years ago, look what you would have missed out on.
Right, right.
There's all the growth of the supply and demand situation. If you want to buy when everyone else is buying, then the prices are going to keep going up because more people want it. So today, the better chance, I buy higher now because you should get more later.
Yep,
And you get more motivated seller.
yep, exactly.
Well, that inventory is also going to play into the fact of, I mean, inventory is huge right now. As you saw that blue line,
Yep.
our inventory is going down.
Yes.
Yeah, so as that inventory goes down, the prices are going, the competition is gonna go up. So
Exactly.
it's gonna hold those prices steady.
Exactly. And that's kind of what he said. He's like, just show them the 2 or 3 graphs that I just showed you. He's like, put that in there. He's like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. If you're gonna increase 4%, that's just what's been shown. So you're still good. And then interest rates are too high. That's like number 1. You marry the house, you date the rate, right? You can refinance. But if you love it, go ahead and put a ring on it, you know? Like, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. All right, this is for my mom. My mom loves technology.
Yeah, I love it. I love it so much.
Yeah.
And can it be intimidating? Absolutely. And he was showing us the evolution of efficiency. The funny thing about technology is the degree of intimidation that you experience, which is truly what I encounter, and I'm sure others too. And then we fight it, of course. So we gave great examples. One is the washing machine, which was really entertaining. You start with the rock, then you have the washboard, you have the shaker, then you have that manual spin washer, and then you have your washing machine currently that speaks and does everything itself.
Yeah,
Right?
sings to you and everything.
Exactly. Another one was a remote, the TV knob. You know, we had to get up, turn it on. For those of you of my age, you went through the
Walk 20 feet through shiny
carpet. And then, oh my gosh, that was a remote. How do you work this? And we had the universal remote. And now we have our iPhone or whatever you
Just
have.
talk to it.
Yeah, that's awesome. And then the payments. Okay, so we started bartering. We still do that today. Then you had your coin and your cash and your checks and your credit cards. Just remember to pay your credit cards off every month. And then now you have your mobile app, right? All technology driven. In the MLS, now I wasn't here for this. The list sheet, you had your MLS book prior to all the technology. You had thermal paper, no screen computer, the office only. Then it jumped from the computer to the bulletin boards. Then the computer with the internet, thank you God. And then we had the mobile, right?
Yes. Amen.
So, and last but not least is your database. You had the address book, the Rolodex, the business card book, the computer with Word, Excel. Now, that was a challenge for me. You had your mobile phone contacts, your computer CRM, and your mobile CRM, all on the computer. Everything is technology.
Yes.
And either you embrace it or you walk away from it.
Right.
Yeah.
I love it. And like, it's like the question, what came first, the chicken or the egg? Who cares? Like, do you, you're just here to do what you need to do. So like, how many of you, when you buy a new car, you read the manual front to back?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Or when you get a new iPhone or Android, because I'm an Android user, how many of you read your manual? No? Never. Right? Same with the MLS. And do you think our clients are going through like testimonials of how to use Zillow? No, they're just doing it. So that's why it's important that we need to shift with the evolution of change and technology and just sharpen our tools. Okay, so he made a big deal about this one. The secret to having all the financial success you've ever dreamed of just lies in these 2 numbers. Does anyone know what these 2 numbers mean? Rob does.
I know what the 201 is.
What's the 201?
Basically, if you have 201 people in your database that you are actively marketing to with the 36 touch or better, then you will achieve at least a return of $120,000 per year.
He gets a gold star. Yes, you are correct. And the 3 represents the 3 sources of where your business is coming from. So you should be tracking those at a high level so you know where to pour your time into. Your number 1 should be what?
Database.
Your database. Number 2, you just, again, track it. Like for us, it's social media. And number 3 is events. So we don't pay for leads. We don't understand that yet. I'm sure we'll get there. But it's very important to track those things. And then this is kind of exactly what you just said. This just shows, the gray bar shows the number of agents, the red shows the number of income, their GCI. So you can see once they hit the 201, they started making some money. And then the more people you have, the more nurturing, you can raise your income. And that's just on command. That's the only database or information they have. They don't have like Brevity or follow-up box or whatever CRM you use. This is just the one that they have.
Yeah, and you're just leveraging.
Mm-hmm.
Less work, smarter.
Yes. Yes. So you asked us to talk about like our top 3 lead sources and how to grow them. So our number 1 is our database. We really, really pour into that. So we do that by trying to do 2 coffees a week with people. And that can be agent to agent. If you don't want to go to McDonough, build a relationship there. Have coffee with them. Do it over Zoom. It doesn't have to be face to face, but make that intentional connection. Same with people. If you haven't seen them since high school, 20 plus years ago, like reach out to them and don't talk about real estate. Ask them how they are. Like be nice. Ask them how their business is. How can you add business to them? And then it will, I know, nice is just weird. It's so weird.
Be nicer.
And ask them how you can help their business grow. Because normally when people do that, they ask the same question back to you. And that's your opportunity to say what you need to say. And then social media, I personally use that as like a texting thing. So the little message icon where you can direct message people, I literally just direct message people. And I'm asking them, how are you? Hey, I was just thinking about you today. How are you? And then that sparks the whole conversation and it grows from there. And then the third is events, which we are both really passionate about. And we have one coming up on Saturday. It's going to be fun. It's a ballroom dancing event. Yeah. So we'll let you know how it goes. We've never done it before. So.
Well, I have. Yeah. I mean, that was my
This is for like love.
Yeah,
So.
that's my passion.
Yeah.
So it will be fun. And it's, if you can walk, you can dance. Hey, I promise you, just move it. Yeah, that's all.
Get your buddy here. I love it. And then another thing that we're doing to really add value, how many of you are working with investors? Have you guys ever heard of biggerpockets.com? It's amazing. So particularly, I have one investor that he wants to net a certain amount with Airbnbs. So biggerpockets.com, you can literally go to tools, there's a drop down thing, and then it'll say Airbnb. You can plug in the address, make sure the number of bedrooms and bathrooms are correct, and it'll show you what your projected annual income would be. It's amazing, it's free. They have the same thing for rentals, but you have to pay for it. So I don't do that one.
What's it called again?
Biggerpockets.com.
Biggerpockets.com.
Yep. And then you can create a spreadsheet or something like that, and you can send it to them if they're a high D. So they just look through it. Yes, yes, no, no, yes. Then you can make your offers and move forward. So that's a huge, huge thing that's worked for us too. And then we're just going to pour into our database more.
What is the one thing that you all left there that you feel like that you could implement now that was your aha that you got like the next morning you're like, we're going to do this today moving forward?
For me, the focus was the database.
Yeah.
And that's always been a challenge for me. And so I've had to bring pain to myself in order to get that database in. And so I wrote a check out to one of our people on the team, $500 if I don't get at least 5 in the database a week.
Yeah.
So you can bet I'm not going to pay her the $500. But that, I promise you, that really motivates you to get it done. That's my goal, because the value in just this here, you're working smarter, not harder. So that's my.
Same. We're just really pouring into our people.
Statistically, every person knows 2.5 people this year that will move. They may not know they'll move, but they know 2.5 people that are going to move this year. So if you have 100 people in your database that you're communicating with, that's 250 opportunities. And that's not double-sided, right? That's just single. Right. If they all buy and sell, that's 500 opportunities. If you have 200, now we're talking about 1,000, up to 1,000 opportunities in your database that are sitting there waiting for you to find them.
Yep. And that's our job, is to find them. Just reach out.
Yeah. And the key was what? The playlist? I mean,
when
you go to family reunion, oh my goodness, I'm sorry.
You're good.
Yeah, it's key. Go ahead.
Yes. You have music in your head. Yes, the
Playbook.
Playbook. And they had playbooks, which are on the little thing again. They have like open house playbook, door knocking, sphere of influence, like you name it, it's in there. And I believe family
Scripts
reunion.
and
Yes,
scripts.
there's scripts, like
There are great
literally
scripts in there.
step by step on what to do and how to grow in that area.
The scripts are a little different, they're actually better.
They're a conversation.
Yeah,
So it's
they
not
really
like,
are.
hello, my name is Chelsea. Would you like to buy, sell, or invest in real estate today? You know, it's like, hey, what's up? How you doing?
What were some of the one-liners that Mark said that you guys found? I think is him being so transparent and keeping it real. And he's not just a speaker, but just a wealth of information, but just so direct, which I think people just kind of, having somebody in that position, you forget that usually it's all proper and you get all the filters, and he doesn't have a filter, and he says
whatever's on his mind. And it kept us very engaged. So that was fun. My favorite line that he said was, knowing something and doing nothing is the same as doing nothing. Like I was like, oh, say it again.
And if you've never heard him speak, and actually it was my first, he's probably the best speaker that I've ever heard at Keller Williams. He keeps you totally entertained. He's so quick. He's so sincere, and he's so humble. And the knowledge that he provides is unbelievable. Yeah. If family reunion wasn't in
California,
yeah, I would be going. Yeah. It's worth it. Too bad they don't put it halfway. But
I know.
yeah, it's really, he's well worth listening to. And you had mentioned he's on Growth Track, is it?
The Growth Call.
Growth Call, yeah, which I didn't know. But you should listen. It's really, really phenomenal.
It was good. It was really good. You can't blame your way to prosperity. And then people want to pay for the result without doing the activity to achieve the result. So it was basically like calling everybody out.
Yeah, put your act together. They were right left on. We're not doing so well. We gotta step it out.
And he also, which this was really cool. So if those of you that do work with investors, he gave out his cell phone number to the room and his email address. So if you want it, I'm happy to give it, or I can share it now. It's up to you. He said, please send me good investment opportunities. He also followed that up with, if you send him crap, he's not going to ever open anything from you again. No pressure. So I haven't sent him anything yet. That's right. You're
gonna think about that email or call for a while before you.
I was like, I have a lot of questions. But yeah, so it was overall a really cool experience. We're glad we were able to go.
Awesome.
Hope that.
Well, thank you for sharing.
To y'all.
Anybody have any questions? Okay. Yeah. Also, while we're doing that, so food will be ready today. We'll be ready this minute. We do have some awards that we are going to finish today, but the food will be ready. I promise you. And if not, that it's going to be like I'm leaving. That's it. I'm out. Get this pulled back up. And for those of you that weren't here last week at the awards, the food was not on time. In my world.
That was delicious.
But it was good.
Is the clicker working?
Okay, that's the same QR code. It's on your desk. You guys want the whole book. Okay, these we're going to do the awards for people that were not there that we invited to come today so they could receive their award. Is Carla come in today? No. Okay. Right, Carla again. Devin, is Devin here?
Congratulations.
I know, congratulations, great job, Devin. Kristen, you want no steak? I don't think anybody's here with it either. Is it not? That they missed one. There's a piece they didn't get. I know Lena's not here probably, right? Nope. See?
Lisa's here.
Lisa's here. We love our admins, so thank you for all you do, and please let Alicia get your picture.
Oh.
Let's take this seat.
You may continue.
Top 10%. I know a few people had asked, they wanted us to put this slide back up. For anybody. Yes, Gloria was the one who was not here, but I don't believe she's here today either. Top 5%. Again, Carla, but Carla isn't here, either is Devin. Everybody else got theirs correct. Kelly, Joanna, and Chris and Eli aren't here. Jeez, they're still in timeout. Ridiculous. ALC recognition, shocking. I forgot to give you all your certificates last week. I know that's amazing. So
You were hungry.
I was hungry, right? All about the food. So we have certificates for the ALC members from last year. If you are here, please stand up. Nobody's here either. George! George, get in here! Y'all know what I'm talking about. Leah?
I'm with you in spirit.
Oh, see, I knew you were there. Come get your award, please, your certificate. I know, but I didn't get it to place right here. Thank you. Okay, pause it. So, I want to share. I know, right? It's just a company of errors. Constance was so sweet to make a video for Nikki, who is the head of our social committee. If those of you have not seen it on Facebook, who's seen it on Facebook? The homecoming that's about to happen? Are y'all wondering what is going on?
Awesome.
Yeah. So it is literally homecoming, like church and school. We are doing a week of activities, bringing everybody back together again. They are scheduling something every day for that week. We have amazing speakers lined up. It's going to go back to when this brokerage opened, who was here, how it got started. Lots of newsletters might be coming around. I'm just saying. So those of you that have been here a minute, you will get to enjoy that. Here's the video. Great job, Constance. Just do it again. Let's present it today. New tech, mold, and water. And while they are walking, hello.
I'm a ninja.
Right? I'm like, you just magically dropped from the sky. But there's more to come. Come on up. There's more to come on the homecoming week. But just know for those that have been here for a minute, there's a lot of stuff that you're going to remember. And for all you new people, it's going to be super exciting. So we are very excited. Welcome.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
Glad you could make it. Slide in at the last second.
Home plate, Pete Rose. Wait a minute, how many in here actually remember Pete Rose playing baseball? Yeah, okay, cool. Thank you. Make me feel a little bit better. So I'm Chris with New Tech Mold and Water. I see some familiar faces, and then I see a lot of new ones. So nice to meet y'all. We do mold remediation, testing. We do some waterproofing. We do some foundational support. Call me on that one before you go. Yeah, that's the guy. And basically, we're real estate friendly. We've done, I think I was adding it up the other day. It's somewhere north of 4,000 mold inspections for realtors in Georgia. And I think we've done over 2,200 jobs for y'all. We can be paid from closing proceeds. That tends to help grease the wheels. One of the things we're seeing a lot of is sellers are starting to do work again. They're panicked. They want to get rid of the house. So that's good. We can get paid out of those. The other one, testing. We've actually made investments in equipment for testing that goes beyond, according to the manufacturers, nobody in Atlanta's got it, so. And then the other thing we try to do is actually triangulate. We did, we were in a country called the South the other day. One room had a problem. Buyer, of course, is gonna die. They buy the house like that, so they need $1 million. And we came in and said, all right, hold on a second. Let's just start testing and figuring out what's really going on. There's 2 rooms affected, not the whole basement. So once that was established, everybody was much happier, and now that deal's gonna close, and there's 2,201. We do encapsulations, I get that question a lot, and other than that, I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I know, like I said, there's a handful of folks in here I've worked with. I'm glad to have done that. Any questions? Yes?
What's an encapsulation?
So there's a base piece of plastic that goes down in a crawl space to cover the dirt, and it keeps the moisture. You know how science class, moisture comes up out of the ground, goes up, makes clouds, comes back down? Well, in a house, it's not so bueno. You want to stop that moisture because it will soak into the lumber. And once the lumber gets too wet, you'll actually start mold, and eventually it'll wood rot on you. So the base you got to have is the plastic on the ground. Now, encapsulation is the Cadillac version. They turn it up the walls, they seal it at the top, and if you really want to get going, you wrap the piers, throw in a dehumidifier, block the vents, and you're going to spend a couple dollars. But quite frankly, it is hands down, it's what you probably should do on the crawl. We've got some we treated 5 years ago. We just put the base plastic down and they're fine. So it just depends on the space. Okay. And then watch the water table. That's the only other thing. With all this rain we're getting, I'm getting phone calls again. I got water in the center of my basement. How did that happen? Water table. Once the ground gets saturated, it's over.
Nowhere for it to go.
Yep, it's going somewhere. Maybe Grand Canyon. It'll cut through whatever it wants to, given enough time. Yes?
You mentioned some new high-tech equipment. What does it do?
So traditional testing simply sucks air across the slide, and then they put it under a microscope. There's a prone to human error, number one, because they're counting, they're looking at shapes. Some labs have moved to computer programs. The computer program is still prone to error because it's going to kick out anything that doesn't match exactly. The next problem with that level of testing is if the mold breaks, it just flies right on by. So the accuracy of that test is, I call it the barking dog. My dogs bark at everything. Leaf, mailman, truck, doesn't matter. Sometimes though, I want them to bark. So that, to me, that test, it's what everybody's got. It's like a stethoscope for a doc. What they've done is now we've got tests that actually go in and they measure the enzymatic activity of mold instead. And it's looking at the fragments, it's looking at the root structures, it's looking at the entire biomass, not just counting the spores on the slide. So 9% statistical variation in error on that test. The other one's got up to 200%. So, and again, it doesn't mean that it's bad. It just, again, you can't, and even I've had tests come back where people look at the room and they're like, how did that pass? Well, there's a couple different ways that can happen. So you can't, just because you got that one test doesn't mean that the world's safe or the world's over. The only other thing, since there were some new folks in here, if you have visible mold on sheetrock, your appraiser, Joy will back me up on this, your appraiser will call it out and you're done. Because they're just going to make a note, they don't think anything of it, mold on sheetrock, and then the bank goes, oh, hell no. We are not loaning money on this house. So if you have visible mold on sheetrock, that is, okay, hold up, pump the brakes, and let's figure out, is it a leak? Is it an old thing? Is it a stain? We had a guy, he rested his mop on the garage wall for 20 years, mopped the floor every day. I'm not kidding you, there was a strip of mold this big and that wide. Everybody knew. And this one guy just was going to insist that this whole garage get berserk. And then they wanted, and so when it got painted, when we were done, I had to, because did some damage cleaning it up. They wanted to post test it, and I did. I called the guy and I called both agents, and I said, I'll tell you what, I'll post test that. I'm gonna lick the wall. You video it. I'm not.
What percentage of variation does that method?
The licking?
Yeah, the licking. And we're at 9% with the new method, 200% with the.
I'm gonna go about a 30%. It just depends on what I've had to eat that day. No, I'm not, seriously. So, and that's one of the things that I do like to point out about what we do when we say we're real estate friendly, and we do understand what you're going through. Therefore, I'm not afraid to go and call someone and go, are you out of your mind? Who's the expert here? You know, last time I checked, this guy did this person did this person did this, and I'm the one that knows my business. So.
Awesome.
Yep, any other questions?
Did you bring us money too?
I did.
Awesome, even better. We love that.
Yes. Every time it rains, it's little $20 bills falling from the sky. So, no, I have some cards. If anybody, like I said, new agents that I don't know, I know you've got the vendor piece in the back, so I got to go get some cards back in there for you. Awesome. All right. And then, shame on me. I was in a hurry last night because I cook all the meals. I don't buy them anymore. Everything you're going to get, I cook. So, I got in a hurry and forgot to get a gift card because normally I try to do a drawing for y'all. So, because I saw the bucket and I'm like, oh man.
Food is good.
Yeah,
we forgive you. Food is good. Yep.
All right.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you
Food is
so
good.
much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, really quick, we'll do the on time.
All right, 188032.
Awesome. You get a gift card from Contractor's Best. So there is your Keeps gift card. $20. 22.
200.
Good job. Does anybody have any questions for me before we break for food? I know we got 2 minutes. As far as like anything that I shared today with the fees, now that I'm official, anything that you guys want to ask me, want to know about me, anything, I'm an open book. Nobody?
Glad to have you.
Well, enjoy lunch. We are looking forward to a lot of great things that are going to be coming down the pipe for all the agents here at this market center, and I'm open to any and all feedback, constructive criticism, thoughts, concerns. So please know that we, this leadership group, is an open book, and we are just looking to make this an amazing and the best place to work. So we appreciate every single one of y'all. Thank you. David's got his